Nine Flames Sovereign Chapter 5, Nine Flames. In the next period of time, Han Feng will operate the first layer of the nine flames of different fires, but there is not much time left, and the sky will be bright soon. Even if the first layer of the nine flames of different fires is just the basics, it is not that easy. You can practice successfully. It's dawn. It's time to go to the martial arts training ground to practice, and strive to cultivate the condensing claw technique to the realm of success as soon as possible. Han Feng came to the martial arts field early, using basic boxing techniques and basic leg techniques one by one. With internal strength, Yi Han's understanding of these basic boxing techniques and leg techniques is slightly different. Gradually, there are more and more teenagers. Suddenly, one of the Han family's children is surprised. Look, Han Feng's boxing and leg techniques today are different from the past? Yes, it's more powerful than before. It's about the same as when we were practicing, isn't it? This Han family obviously guessed something. Han Lin's eyes flashed among the Han family's children. Does this waste produce internal energy? Is your physical condition better? Even if you have internal energy, it is not easy to catch up in 3 years. The younger generation under the age of 15 in the Han family, I must be the first to break through to the human level. A raging will to fight in Han Lin's heart. A family may have some contradictions, but these contradictions will definitely not be so big that they are fighting for death. Therefore, although Han Lin is angry and jealous, it is more of a competition. He wants to prove that the Han family is 15 years old. Next, he is the first person. If there is a genius in a family, it will be obliterated by jealousy, and the family will not be far from ruin and decline. Instructor Lin still arrived shortly after the Han boys arrived. Instructor Lin said lightly, "The next month we'll be practicing claw condensation. If you don't know anything, you can ask this instructor." After saying this, Instructor Lin directly sat aside, watching the Han Zhilang train. Instructor Lin is a human-level 4-star powerhouse, and his vision is so vicious. For many Korean teenagers, whether their cultivation progress is progressing or regressing, Instructor Lin can know just by looking at it. When Instructor Lin's eyes were placed on Han Feng, he suddenly brightened, and then he was shocked. This phenomenon, is it? Instructor Lin suddenly stood up. Han Feng, come here. Han Feng seemed to have expected this result long ago. When Instructor Lin called him, he quickly stepped forward to Instructor Lin. Instructor Lin grabbed Yi Han's wrist abruptly and closed his eyes for a long time before opening his eyes in surprise and said, "Han Feng, is your sickness that your inner strength disappeared for no reason?" Han Feng grinned, "Yes, instructor." Instructor Lin laughed, "Okay, great, your kid's understanding is extraordinary, and now he can cultivate his inner strength, and given time, he can completely surpass this instructor." Young people under the age of 15 from the Han family are practicing under the guidance of Instructor Lin. Except for a small number of people such as Han Lin, not everyone sees the strangeness of Han Feng. At this moment, Instructor Lin laughed, and the time was unclear. Up. What, Han Feng is all right? This is interesting. Han Feng's qualifications are 4th class, 1 class higher than Han Lin, and 2 or 3 classes higher than us. The 4th class qualification is the younger generation in the midtown of our people. Ranked in the top 10, Han Feng and Han Lin have some competition. That's not necessarily true. Han Feng is 3 years late, and Han Lin is 14 years old. He has cultivated for 4 years. Now he has entered the middle of the mortal stage. The 8 main channels and the 4th main channel are about to be opened up. I still believe that it will surpass Han Lin in 3 or 4 years, but it is unlikely to exceed Han Lin in a mere 1 or 2 years. Han Lin is a little over 14 years old. Once he reaches 15, he will join the Han family guards, or join other sects or even academies. By then, he won't be in one place. How can he compete? Instructor Lin patted Han Feng on the shoulder. "Yes, let's practice, this instructor is optimistic about you." Yes. Among the weird and complicated gazes of many Han boys, Han Feng Shiren came to the area where he had been exercising. Next to Han Lin, 2 Han boys whispered, "Han Lin, don't you teach this kid, but just now I can cultivate inner strength. Nothing compares to us. Seeing that Instructor Lin is happy, it is possible that we are all ineffective? These two teenagers are not easy to cultivate. One of them has reached the peak of the early stage of the mortal stage. Only one step away, he can get through the main channel and enter the middle stage of the mortal stage. And the other one, surprisingly, was about to get through the second main line. Among the many Han youths, the cultivation speed was at the forefront, and there were few that could overwhelm him. These two teenagers have always respected Han Lin. Han Lin is Han Tianmu, the son of Han Feng's third uncle. Like Han Feng, he is a direct line of the Han family. And they are just byproducts. If Han Feng couldn't cultivate his inner strength before, their status is absolutely impossible to compare with Han Feng. Now that Han Feng has cultivated his inner strength, if the illness is really cured, the two teenagers know in their hearts that it will not be long before Han Feng's status will be much higher than that of them. Born in a collateral family, but far from being jealous of Han Fengneng's previous two teenagers, they are extremely unbalanced. Han Lin's eyes suddenly became cold when he heard the words. He glanced at the two young men coldly, and said coldly, "No matter how Han Feng is not up to date, he is also my cousin. Let me teach Han Feng. What are your thoughts?" The two teenagers were shocked, dripping with cold sweat. Han Lin's eyes slowed and he said indifferently, "Han Gu, Han Lai, I have guessed some of your thoughts. Han Feng is an orthodox family, and it is normal for you to have a higher status than you. If you don't even see this through, you don't have to follow me in the future. What's more, Han Feng is now able to cultivate his inner strength, so don't provoke him at will." Although Han Lin had some prejudice against Han Feng's father, and this prejudice also spread to Han Feng, he was also a blood brother, so Han Lin was able to teach Han Feng a lesson. Not to mention that Han Feng has just cultivated his internal energy, and he is very different from him, the mid-mortal master who has already got through the three main lines. With Han Lin's character, he can't bully the small. Han Gu and Han Lai nodded and said yes. They almost forgot, no matter how Han Feng is, they are also with Han Lin's family. They came from sidelines, and they also wanted to provoke an infighting between two direct brothers. The senior management knows that their parents will also be affected. Han Lai hesitated and said, "Han Lin, are you not afraid that Han Feng will fight with you? You know, under the age of 15, the glory of the first person in the younger generation is highly valued in the Han family, and the first person to break through the ranks will also receive a lot of rewards, and it will be able to open up peers. Less distance,